Hi everyone, welcome to Passive Income Mastery TV. My name is Dennis Bay and I'm the founder of Dennis Bay Way and the Passive Income Mastery Academy. So this is the first show that we're recording, and it's a real pleasure and honor for me to share with you today about my story, about how I became a $1 million earner, generating over $1 million in passive income in my passive income businesses right around the world over the last 20 years of my life. Okay, so very quickly, right, I just want to ask you, all of you watching the show today, how many of you would like to be financially free, meaning you don't have to worry about money anymore in your life? Say me. Okay, great. Right, if that's you, welcome to the show. You're in the right place, right? How many of you would like to also be time free, meaning you have all the time in the world to do anything, whatever you want, with whoever you want, whenever you want, anywhere you want? Right? If that's you, say me. Okay, very good. All right, so again, all right, if you answered yes to the above two questions I just asked you, you are at the right place. Okay, so let me share a little bit about my story here real quick. All right, so I, when I was in school about 20 years ago, I studied in the university of this computer science faculty, and my original path in life was to become a computer science or a computer scientist or computer engineer. Get a job, graduate from school, get a job, and then get a good salary, have a good career path in a multinational corporation, and just get married, have kids, retire at 65, something like that. Okay, so that was my original plan in my life, right? But what happened was 20 years ago, when I was 21 years old, somebody came to me in my life, right? And this person asked me, hey, Dennis, would you like to be, rich, right? Would you like to be wealthy? Would you like to be successful and retire young, retire rich and don't have to worry about money anymore? Well, what do you think I said? My answer was, of course, yes. Okay, how do you do that? Okay, and this gentleman, he actually asked me to go buy this book here. Okay, and if you can see it clearly, this book, the name is called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Okay, by a very famous author and trainer to the millionaires and multi-millionaires and even the billionaires. His name is Robert Kiyosaki. Okay, so Mr. Robert Kiyosaki and his book Rich Dad Poor Dad literally changed my life over 20 years ago. Okay, so this gentleman said, hey, you have to read this book, and after you read this book, right, you will realize how you're going to become rich and wealthy and retire younger, and do the things that you want to do in your life. Okay, so this book is really, really powerful, guys. Right? If you have never read this book, just say yes. Okay, don't worry, there's nothing wrong. Okay, you have never read this book before, it's fine. If you have a local bookstore, I'm sure you have it, or go to Amazon.com or any online bookstore in your country, and go search for Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? And buy this book immediately. Okay, order it immediately, because the sooner you get your hands on this book, the sooner your life will change totally. Okay, financially, both financially and spiritually, mentally, everything. Okay, because what's written in this book is so powerful, right? Over 20 years ago, when I was in university, I decided that I am not going to work anymore for anyone or any company, right? I decided that I'm going to start my own business and become an entrepreneur, right? Basically, I am the boss, okay? I will become my own boss, okay? And in this book, Robert Kiyosaki talks about his life story, about how he has two dads, one rich dad and a poor dad, and how each dad has influenced his way of thinking, his mindset, his lifestyle, the way he lives, okay? But what happened was he still went on to have a job. In fact, he served in the armed forces, right, in the Air Force, as a soldier, as a pilot, and he went through the same path that most of us in life have to go through. That means we get a job, we try to have a career, but he found that that didn't work. Okay, and he remembered what his rich dad taught him when he was young. Okay, and what his rich dad taught him and his best friend, one of his best friends when he was young, about how they can become financially free and time free. Okay, but his real father, all right, is not the rich dad. The rich dad is his friend's father. The real father is the poor dad. Okay, and his real father served a long time job in education as a educator, as a professor, and also went into politics. But his poor dad actually failed in life, and ended up broke, when he was old. Whereas the rich dad, they are continuously getting richer and wealthier, over time. Okay, so go and read this book because it's very, very important. And the next book that led on after Rich Dad Poor Dad is The Cash Flow Quadrant, also by Robert Kiyosaki. And this book shares an even more powerful concept, right? So the first book that I read, it was a kind of a story of Robert Kiyosaki's life, which has many lessons that you can learn from about the difference between how rich people think and how poor people think. But this second book, The Cash Flow Quadrant, is really the most important book that you have to read as well. Okay, so go and order this book, Cash Flow Quadrant, from your local bookstore or online bookstore. Okay, so I'm going to share a quick little bit insight about what I learned from these two books that changed my life totally over the last 20 years and helped me to build up my businesses so that I am making a 7-figure income in US dollars, right, passively while I'm sleeping at home. Okay, or doing this video, sharing with you about my secrets. Okay, so let's look at this. What the cash flow quadrant is all about. So, all right. So basically, Robert Kiyosaki teaches us that there's 4 types of people in the world. Okay, and all of us belong to either one of these 4 types. Okay. So he calls it the cash flow quadrant, or ESBI. Okay, so all credit to Robert Kiyosaki, yeah, right? Because this is, of course, his concept, and he's the one who started teaching this around the world to millions of people. Okay, and I'm just one of the students who benefited from his teaching. Right? So what is ESBI? So E stands for employee. Okay. Now, how many of you are still working for someone in a job? Right? That means you have a boss, you go to work every day. Okay, say me, anybody? Right. So nothing wrong with that. Okay, having a job is just how normal people have to do what they have to do to survive every day, right? Because you need to feed the family, you need to feed yourself, you need to take care of your daily, expenses. Okay, so nothing wrong with being an employee. Okay, but the problem is, right? How many of you are actually afraid that you will lose your job one day? Okay, or maybe even like next week, you could lose your job. You could get a call from the boss, and the boss says, hey, sorry man, you're fired because of whatever reasons, retrenchment, market downturn, whatever. Anybody? Yes, if you're afraid of losing your job, that means you are not financially free. It means that you depend on your action, right, of going to work every day in order to get money, right? And the time, the hours that you spend at your job determine how much you earn. Okay, so basically our parents used to tell us when we were young, study hard, work hard, and go make a decent living, right? But you know what, that's not how you get rich. Okay, because once you stop working, once you don't go to your job or you lose your job, you lose your income or your ability to make money. Okay, now the next thing is called self-employed. Okay, so if you're a self-employed person, well, congratulations, you are also not financially free. In fact, you are time broke. Okay, it means that you're a doctor, you're an accountant, you're a lawyer, right? If you stop doing your work, if a lawyer stops going to court or fight legal cases, he loses his income. If an accountant stops doing accounts or audit, you lose your income. If a doctor stops seeing patients or doing surgeries, you lose your income, right? Because you are your own boss and you employ yourself back to work. Okay, so the people on the left side usually end up being poor, right? Okay, either financially poor or time poor. Okay, that means once you stop working, you don't exchange your time for your money, you have no more income, right? Okay, but let's look at the people on the right side. B stands for a business owner, and I stands for an investor. Okay, So the idea here is, right, if you're a business owner, you own a system that helps you generate income while you sleep. That means you don't have to exchange your time for your money, because even while you're at home playing golf, having a good time with your kids and your family, your business is still generating income for you. Okay? If you're an investor, that's even better, because you are invested in a business or some sort of a system that generates more money for you while you sleep. Okay? As an investor, they use money to grow more money. Alright? So examples would be like an investor in real estate collects rental every month. Investor in a business has stocks that pays him dividends every year, or an investor in some sort of a business system that generates money for them every month or every day while they are not working or not exchanging time for money. Okay? So the whole idea of this is, right, if you're in the right side, you are exchanging time for money. Okay? We call it active income. Okay? You are exchanging your actions for your income. Okay? Whereas the people on the right side, okay, are financially free because they have systems that help them generate money. And these people generate what we call passive income. Alright? And that's the reason why I started Passive Income Mastery Academy, because I want to help millions of people around the world just like you listening to this call, how you can build and achieve true passive income while you're sleeping, okay, at home. Alright, so one day you can retire younger, retire richer, retire sooner, and do the things that you really want to do whenever, anywhere, anytime, with whoever you want. Okay, so thank you very much. That's it for today's show. Stay tuned for the next episode, alright, episode number 2, where I'll be explaining to you more in detail about what is active income and what is passive income. Alright, so I wish you the success and freedom, right, financial and